Hey, what's up everyone? Jeff Kinder here, and we are back with another video. And today starts part 2 of the food fight restoration. So in the first video, we went through and we put a new front panel on, and then we're also in the back of the cabinet here, we also put a new top piece on here. We cut a new top piece, and we also put a new vent piece on as well. I still need to cut the back door yet, but that will happen later. Both sides of the cabinet have been sanded down. First sanding, they still need more sanding, but the final sanding will definitely wait until all the Bondo is done. So what we're gonna start doing now, we have a lot of work to do. We have Bondo on a lot of the corners. This corner here needs quite a bit of Bondo. Up here needs some Bondo. Down here needs Bondo, and also the back corner down there, that needs some Bondo. And similar on the other side. I don't know if the other side is as bad. It's actually not, looking at it. It's in a lot better shape, the other side. So most of the Bondo work is gonna be on this side of the cabinet here. But yeah, so we're gonna start Bondoing, then we're gonna sand. I still need to figure out what I'm going to do with the groove, if this groove is good enough for T-molding to go in. I think that I'm going to do laminate, white laminate on the sides and the front, and then put the food fight art over the top of that. It kind of depends really on how the sanding goes. If I can get it smooth enough, then I'll just put the food fight artwork right on the wood. I won't put laminate down, but we'll see how that goes. So I'm going to start right now. I'm going to just put the cabinet on its side and start Bondoing, getting the first coat of Bondo on some of these bad corners. So I'm going to set up the camera right now and get to work. All right, so I'm continuing Bondoing and sanding the broken corners here and there and down on the bottom and over on the back side there. But there's a few things that I can't do just by, filling in with Bondo. So you can see on the inside here, it's got quite a bit of Bondo. The outside, not so much. But, when I look at this side here, it comes down, let me see if I can focus on that there. So it comes down straight and then it goes that way. And then just this edge is a little rounded. Now the edge is just broken off there, but it just has a little, all they did was, it's a squared edge and then they just rounded it with the sander. So I need to do the same for this, but it's impossible to, try to get that over to here without knowing where to go. So what I usually do, I do this, I don't know if this is the right method or not, but this is just what I've always done. I just make up a little piece like this. And then what I did was basically, it's just a 1/4 inch, whatever it is, 3/8 inch piece of wood and 2 pieces of blocking. And I just mounted them on there so it follows that, contour exactly, right? And now what I do is now I come over to this side over here and I'm gonna staple this in place on the back side there. And now I have that exact same contour, so I could see there's that spot right there that I need to fill in with Bondo. Of course, it's blurry and the camera's not focusing on it for some stupid reason, but you could see what I'm trying to do there. So now I know that I just need to pack that hole in there with Bondo and then let that dry and then round off the edge and it's going to be exactly the same as this side, just by doing that. So that's what I do, but I'll probably do the same for that. This wasn't too bad. I think it's a little worse on the inside. No, it's not worse on the inside. This one wasn't too bad. This one just comes straight and then curves, so I don't know if I'll have to do it with that. The front is not bad. This was just a squared edge, and they just rounded it off with the sander. So you can see I have a little bit more Bondo to put on there, not much. But this back edge back here, I'm gonna have to make the template for, because it's, I'm making the angle, but I don't know if it's the right angle as the way the other side is. And when I looked at it laying on the side, it looks like it wasn't being the right angle. So I'll do the same thing. I'll make a template that goes down, and I'll know exactly where. Maybe it's a cross going this way, maybe it's up a little higher, maybe the angle's this way. But when I do the same type of template on that side and line it up on this side, I'll be able to get that angle just right. And then, yeah, that's it. Then I just, fill the areas in with Bondo, let it dry, sand it, and then this side will be done. And then the other side here really isn't that bad. A little bit of Bondo at the bottom down there. Somebody had already Bondoed this here, but I'll clean it up. And again, this little edge up here, out of focus again, that little edge just needs a little Bondo. But the rest of this, the contour of the cabinet, the rest of it's pretty good. So we're looking good. Okay, so now I'm looking at the other corner in the back down here. So the problem is I have this, corner here, and it's cut on a 45. It comes up on a 45 and then back. Now, this corner was smashed in, so I'm trying to build it up. As you can see, I'm building the corner with Bondo, but I don't know where to be, whether it's this way or that way. So what I did, I made this little guide. I matched it up on the other side and then cut it. So now what I do is I take this and I place it down and I line it up as best I can on the edge here and then on the edge there. So I back it up a little bit so it's good. And then when I get it all lined up exactly where I want it, which is right about there. So now I could see, so that's where it needs to be. So now I could see that I have too much Bondo here and I don't have enough Bondo here. You can see it's, when I look underneath it, it's missing. That's where the Bondo has to follow this contour. So that's all got to get built up. And then over here, it's got to get sanded down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just lightly, just with small staples, just staple this into the side of the cabinet, just so when I'm building the Bondo and sanding, I have this guide so I know what, where I need to be. So that's what I'm going to work on right now. Okay, it's another day. It's Sunday morning and we're back to work on the food fight cabinet. So just getting up to speed here as to where we're at. So this one side here is pretty much set. I have the corners pretty good, this corner good. This was that corner that was really rough shape. You can see all the Bondo that I built up because this was really smashed in. And I had to mimic this corner here, so I was able to get it over and make it real nice. But it did take quite a bit of Bondo. And then also the bottom front corner down there is nice. And the bottom back there is all nice. That was all smashed in, and we have that all nice and built up. The groove, the T-molding groove, I had to fill it with Bondo because for two reasons. One, it was pretty wide already, and when I got the cabinet, the T-molding that was on it was popping off in a lot of places, so that just tells me that the groove in the T-molding is too wide and the T-molding won't stay in. So I wanted to fix that. Plus, I've decided I'm going to do white laminate on the side of the cabinet. So the cabinets are going to get white laminate and then the food fight art on top of it. So the laminate will actually make the cabinet a little bit thicker. Now I'm using vertical grade laminate. There's two different grade laminates. There's countertop grade And then there's vertical grade. Countertop grade laminate is thicker, obviously, you know, because it needs to be stronger for your countertops when you're banging stuff around on it. But vertical grade laminate is thinner. I'm not sure how thick it is. It's very thin, and you know, I don't know what the measurement is, but it will make the cabinet slightly thicker. So the T-molding wouldn't be centered then. It would be just a little off, and you would see the laminate sticking out on the one side. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the laminate on, then I'm gonna cut the groove centered so that the groove will be centered with the laminate on the outside. So that'll fix that problem. And I'm pretty sure regular 3/4 inch T-molding will cover over both sides. I don't think there's a problem. But if it doesn't look right, there's the next thickness T-molding is like 1/16 thicker, whatever that number is. I don't know, I'm not 13/16, I think. I forget. I think that's after 3/4. But anyway, so yeah. So this side here, what I'm working on, this side, the cabinet itself was in pretty good shape. There's only a couple areas. There were some holes here and holes there. But again, I'm doing laminate on the side, so I don't have to be so critical for how this looks, because laminate's going to be covering over. But, you know, the edges still needed to be good. So there was a little bad edge here that I've just put some Bondo on. Down here was a little bit rough, and down on the bottom was a little bit rough, and that back corner as well, you could see. So, and then I also, you could see I also started packing the, you know, the groove with Bondo. Now it's messy when you're doing this, but you know, when it's done and sanded, it looks nice. It looks like this. This side's done and sanded, but right now it's pretty sloppy. But that's what I'm going to be working on today. This side of the cabinet, get everything sanded, get all the Bondo sanded and looking good. Then I'll just give it one more check to see if there needs any more Bondo. Like this area here, I noticed this is an area that I worked on. I fixed this corner here, but I could see it still needs a little bit of Bondo right there. So I'll pack that up in there and make that nice, let that dry and sand it, and it'll be perfect. So yeah, that still needs a little bit. And then also what I want to work on today is I want to cut a back door for the cabinet. I have half a sheet of particle board right there. And I have my kangaroo back door here just to go as a guide so I can get the proper, there's a vent in the back door there. I'm going to match up that. Once I get that cut, I'll lay it on top of the kangaroo door and use the router to cut that groove just nice. And then also, in my last video, after I posted the video, I had you know, a bunch of comments, and one important comment was from Alan Brady 9609. He wrote, let's see, looking great. Dumb question, is the top piece missing a vent hole like Dig Dug and Arabian? So Alan Brady, yes, you are correct. I forgot to put the vent in the top. So I have another vent piece here. I had a spare. So yeah, the vent piece goes there. I have the measurements where the vent hole is supposed to be. So I'm going to cut that today. Now, unfortunately, I don't have an actual piece to use with a router to make it exactly perfect. So I'm going to draw it out where it needs to go, measure and draw it. And I'm just going to use the jigsaw, just freehanding it with the jigsaw. So it won't be as neat as when you're using a router, tracing it, because, you know, that's perfect, you know, with a router. It's going to be a little bit, you know, just not as neat, but the fact that the grill covers over it, it'll be fine. So even if I go a little bit, a little jaggy with the, you know, with the jigsaw, a little crooked, the grill will cover over and you won't even see it. So that's it. That's what I'm going to be working on today. Hopefully I'll be able to get that all done. This side sanded, back door cut, and the vent in the top. And then after that, we will be ready for cleaning and then painting the black, and then we'll hopefully be ready for laminate and then vinyl by next weekend. So that's it for now. I'm going to set up the camera and get to work. Okay, so the food fight cabinet is ready for laminate. I finished the Bondo, I finished the sanding, I finished the painting, and I finished the cleaning. Cabinet's all clean, ready to go. Yeah, all these little areas, this area needed Bondo here, same thing with the bottom corners. This was this one problem area. This is all good now. That's all got its Bondo. Same thing there, and both bottom corners are all Bondoed and ready to roll. Yeah, we looked at this, the top, that vent piece, finished the back door, and then I also, too, on the bottom, that piece down there, the original piece was just, it was all chewed up and it was really bothering me. So I took it off and cut a new piece and, you know, got the hole cut, you know, that for the cord vent, and that's for the on-off switch. So what else? Yeah, when I painted the insides, I also painted the edge here. So that's what this overspray is about a little bit. Normally, before I put laminate or vinyl on, I'll go over the edge with a black paint marker. But I just had to paint, you know, the spray can out, the rattle can. So I just painted the whole thing, and, you know, it just went over the edge. So I'll give it a little bit of a light sanding just to make sure that there's nothing in the way. So I'll do that yet. But yeah, I think we're ready to go. So I am gonna set the camera up right now and get to work on the laminate. All right, and just like that, we are finished with the Food Fight laminate and side art. I'm really, really, really happy with how this turned out. I mean, this art from Phoenix Arcade is just absolutely amazing. The colors are just incredible. I love it. So yeah, we're ready for the next phase of this project, which is going to be all the inside stuff, the wiring, the power brick, the AR2, coin door, control panel, monitor, and marquee. Now, I don't have a monitor yet, so I have to solve that problem. And what else? My power brick is not working. I need to see what the problem is with that. But I do have a board for it that I bought a few years ago, so that's all ready to go. And yeah, so this will be the end of this video right here. And in part 3, we will finish up this project. Now, just to note that part 3 of this Food Fight restoration is going to be a little delayed. For those that don't know, on November 14th, I'm going in for shoulder replacement surgery. So I am going to be out of commission for a few months, but probably, hopefully sometime in January, maybe February, I'll be able to use my arm again. And be able to start doing more projects. But, you know, whatever I can do in that meantime, I will definitely do. But the next part of this video, part 3, probably won't be till January or February of 2024. So that's it. We're going to wrap it up right here. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.